Try the last selection tool now, which is this one right here, and I've got a picture of a flower here. Just found it online. I'm going to go ahead and just drag that onto my icon for Photoshop, and that'll open it in Photoshop. There's lots of ways you can open things in Photoshop. So I'm going to go, we've looked at some of the selector tools, and notice when I hold my mouse key down, I have a quick selection tool and a selection tool brush. I'm going to be showing you the quick selection tool, and this basically is a tool that finds edges of things. And I have different modes up here: a new selection, add to a selection, or subtract from a selection. This shows me how big my selection tool is, so that's about the size. If I wanted to make it bigger, I can make it bigger, or I can make it smaller. So you get to choose the size that works for you. So I'm going to go ahead and use this size, and all I do is click and hold and move around, and see, it kind of finds the edges. So that I just wanted to kind of work with the inside of this flower and change that. I would just move this around. Now if I got too much, like I don't want this little area here, I could go back to the subtract, and there we go. And I'll say, well, no, I didn't want this area. I could take that back, or take back this area. I just want the blue center. It kind of finds the edges for me. So when you have the selection area that you want, sometimes it's a good idea to save a selection. Missed one little spot here. I'm going to go back and fix that. So I added an area. Whoops, took too much. And I'm going to back off from that area. Okay, I'm not going to keep messing with this. Sometimes if you spent a lot of time on a selection, though, you'd like to save a selection. So under select, you can go to save selection, and I could just call this flower center. And then if I screw up and lose my selection and don't want to do it again, I could just go back to select and load the selection. And choose it there. Notice you can have multiple selections on the same picture, and then I can get that selection back. So that's kind of nice. And then once you have selected something, you can of course change something about it, like the color. So I can go ahead and just adjust it. I'll just adjust this one a little for fun, just to make it look different. Wow, that's crazy. So pick something you like. I don't really like that, but that's okay. I'll just say okay. Now, if I wanted to select everything but the center, I could go to select and inverse. And now I have the flower out here, and I would be changing the inverse of this color. So I'll go ahead and adjust it again, and you'll see now I'm changing everything on the outside, the petals on the outside of the flower. And I'll push my escape key and take a look at my new crazy looking flower. So that is using the quick selection tool.